let's go back to our research team. They join in for the CNBC TV 18 Top 10 recap. And Anuj, let me start with you. First, quick thoughts on the market opening and plus your stocks.
Yeah, Reema, the market opening is quite good actually. At least the pre-open is telling you that you'll have a decent opening, 1/3 of 1% for the Nifty. The mid-caps, again, almost in a similar line. In terms of stocks, as we said earlier as well, if this was a different market, IOC would have reacted quite negatively. IOC, BPCL and HPCL would have reacted much more negatively. But right now, with the kind of market we have, only 1/3 of 1% is what we have seen. The other stock that I'm watching out for was Ashok Leyland, by the way. So let's see how's that opened in pre-open, because so far the stock has been doing quite remarkably well, up 51% over the 1 year, over the 1 month, and in pre-open also opening quite firm.
Indeed, in fact close to 24 rupees now on Ashok Leyland. But let's proceed. Pragya, you have IRB on your radar.
That's right, Sonia. The company has taken a scheduled hike of about 18% for its Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Remember, as per the contract, this is a scheduled hike which the company takes on every 3 years. So we saw the last hike come in 2011, and in 2014 was the company expected to renew this. Of course, it takes up the overall charges for all of these players, or for all of the users by approximately 18%. But more importantly, it's 1/3 of the total revenues estimated into the hikes. Now this entire segment will contribute from 430 crores. Which is 1/3 of the total revenues, then contribution will go up to 540 crores. The important bit to see will be, how M&S reacts to this kind of a hike. Remember, the company has just gone ahead and implemented what something was in the contract, but M&S has been very vocal in the past, about the toll rates that are being charged in the state of Maharashtra. So we have to see a reaction coming in from that front, but it's, a fair bit of a positive for the company, I guess.
All right, thanks Pragya for that. Back in Anuj, come in on this. We're used to this now. A couple of days of intraday volatility is what we've got. Do you think that could be the order of the day?
It's indeed, Sonia, and the easy money, easy trade might be done for the time being. You'll remember, even in the month of March, you had a period of 10 to 15 days when the Nifty absolutely didn't do anything. Even when for the series it was up about close to 8%. I think for me, what stands out for last 2 days is that if you would have shorted this market at opening, you would have made money at some point during the day. Not to suggest that you should short this market. You should never short a market like this. But I'm just saying that, maybe time has come for some profit booking, because the market might now run into a bit of a phase where just to take this easy money out, you might have a bit of a correction, say 3 to 4% correction.
Couldn't that be a bit dangerous, Anuj? Because if you're not nimble-footed, then you could get caught on the wrong side.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that if you have been lucky enough to have been participating in this rally from the start of the March month, and are sitting on say 8 to 9% Nifty gains, maybe it's prudent to book some profits. If you've been late entrant, of course, you just, in any case, trader would put a stop loss and would carry on with the positions. But I'm just going by the recent data, and the fact that it's the start of a new series, which is a very short series, and you have seen a massive surge in volatility. The market has still not reacted to big jump in volatility. And sometimes when you don't see any kind of correction, is when the correction normally comes.
Yes.
So just going by that, I think it won't hurt you if you want to book some profits.
Okay, let's get back to our CNBC TV 18 Top 10, and our researchers and colleagues are all waiting by. Ushang, coming to you, Hathaway as well as Sun TV.
Yes, so in trade they are gaining quite a bit. Like Sun TV is up by around 2% odd, and Hathaway also was doing pretty well. But all the media stocks are faring well over here. But one point to remember over here is that the tariff hike of around 27% odd, this is actually a negative for the DTH as well as MSO players in sense that they are being charged by the broadcasters. So they actually pay some amounts to the broadcasters like a Sun TV. So invariably of all this moves which are happening right now, it still continues to hold negative for companies like Hathaway or Den Networks in current point of time, and some amount of positive for Sun TV as of now.
All right, thanks Ushang for that. Now the markets have actually slipped into the red. So both the Nifty as well as the mid-cap index, by the way, is in the red. Nifty down just about 2 odd points, holding on to 6,700, but come off, as you can see, since the start of trade. Reema, Tata Com is down almost 2.5%.
Indeed, there were some reports that Tata Communications plans to sell Neotel stake sale to Vodacom has hit a regulatory hurdle where the South African authorities are still not sure whether they will allow the spectrum to be sold, spectrum that Neotel holds, to be sold to Vodacom, and that is a key ingredient to any deal. So if the spectrum is not allowed to be transferred to the buyers, then it raises question marks on whether the deal or the proposed valuations of the deal will get hit. And this stock had gotten re-rated, nearly doubling in the last 6 months on the back of this deal perhaps going through. So that could be the sentiment negative for Tata Communication. That's the reason it's now down closer to 3%. But Titan is the other stock that's on our radar. Ekta?
Okay, we have Titan actually, which is higher in today's trading session. The stock is up around 1.5%, and the momentum continues. Yesterday there was a UBS upgrade which came in on Titan, and today it is reacting to comments which came in from the Finance Ministry yesterday, indicating that they will consider some relaxation in gold imports, and that will be in consultation with the RBI after the monetary policy review, which takes place later on today as well. Remember that in 2013, the 80-20 rule resulted in Titan changing its strategy as well. They started looking at diversifying in terms of products, and also recently they were given approval by the RBI to hedge gold on international exchanges. That was as early as February as well. So the plausibility of gold imports curbs easing is much more likely for Titan, and remember that that would definitely be a fundamental positive for Titan. Just some time back we had a directional positive where 5 domestic private sector banks were allowed to import gold.
All right, Ekta, I'm just going to throw this at you. There's some news flow that's coming in on Teva Pharma. The US Supreme Court has agreed to hear the company's Copsicon patent plea, and Natco Pharma is actually down about 15% right now. In fact, big volumes that are seen on that stock. Can you just put this into perspective for us? I mean, it's just coming in right now.
Yeah, Sonia, I'll have to look into more details about this, but Natco Pharma's, this was actually one of the key drugs that Natco Pharma had in its portfolio, which was Copsicon. So that is actually one of the key drugs that they were banking on in the future. So if in case I think Teva can launch this earlier than anticipated, then that would be a negative for Natco Pharma, and hence potential revenues could possibly be scaled down. I would assume that's the reason why Natco Pharma is down around 10 to 15%, but I'd have to look into more details, but it would be significant news for Natco.
Actually, thanks for clarifying that for us, Ekta. That is perhaps the reason why the stock is down about 14%. So the US Supreme Court has agreed to review a request by Teva to overturn an earlier appeal that that the court had ruled that had shortened its patent protection for Copsicon. So perhaps Teva can go ahead now and launch. For now, the US Supreme Court has only agreed to review that particular request. There's no formal decision that has been taken by the US Supreme Court. But if that comes through, then it could be a significant negative for Natco Pharma, as you're seeing, down about 13.5%. But we'll thank our entire research team for joining us and giving us all those stocks. In fact, the market is flat with a bit of a negative bias, but you must take a look at the mid-cap index, because over there is a drop of close to 0.5%. So there is some profit taking that we're seeing in the mid-cap index. That's a list of top 10, by the way. All the stocks are moving today. IOC down post the deferral of the diesel price hike. The Bank Nifty slightly volatile, as Lata was telling us earlier. SBI 2 in focus. Ashok Leyland, some profit taking over there. Hathway, Sun TV in focus as well. IRB Infra post that news flow. Titan Industries up about 1%.